Most people just treat Claude like a basic, run-of-the-mill chatbot. You know the drill. You type a question, it spits out an answer, and you call it a day. But in this explainer, we are completely moving past that. I'm going to show you 6 hidden features that literally turn Claude into your 24/7 business partner. We're talking about going from zero to actual, real revenue in just 30 days.
Think about this for a second. What if AI did 80 to 90% of the heavy lifting in your business, and your only job was just to sit back and review the final output? We are right in the middle of a massive race right now. The race to build the very first one-person, billion-dollar company. And guess what? The people who win this race absolutely aren't going to be the ones working the hardest. They're the ones leveraging AI to completely remove themselves from the daily grind.
So here's the fundamental difference you need to understand. On one side, we have the chatbot wrapper. This is kind of the amateur way. If you're just using AI to answer questions, you're still the one doing the manual labor. It's basically like asking a really smart intern for advice, but you still have to go build the thing yourself. Now compare that to the autonomous agent. This is true developer-level power. An agent actually executes the work and handles complex system orchestration for you. And the stakes for understanding that difference? They are incredibly high. By acting as a system orchestrator instead of just a manual laborer, you can literally cut a grueling 40-hour workweek down to just 4 hours. No joke, that is not an exaggeration. I used to spend 40 hours doing manual tasks, writing posts, researching competitors, routing emails, all of it. Now, the system knocks it out in 4. By the way, if you want to build a business that literally runs while you sleep, hit that subscribe button below to join Brand Tech Off.
All right, feature 1, the brainstorm. For this first feature, we strictly reframe the standard Claude chat interface for day 1 ideation only. We use it just to validate our offer and brainstorm some angles. But the absolutely crucial point here is this. Once your idea is validated in chat, you've got to stop typing and start building. The biggest trap I see beginners fall into is just chatting in circles for weeks. Don't do that. Once we have the blueprint, we close that basic chat window and we move on to where the real magic happens.
Which brings us to feature 2, the CEO dashboard.
We are officially transitioning away from just talking to an AI and moving into actually managing a digital enterprise. Enter Claude Code. This is a browser-based structured workspace, and the magic phrase you need to remember here is context persists. You load up your brand guidelines, your specific tone of voice, your target audience, and all your business rules directly into this space. Because that context persists across every session, you literally never have to re-explain your project to the AI ever again. It's like having a perfectly organized brain for your business.
And here is exactly how you pull that off. You just create a simple text file called a claude.md file, and you use it as your project's memory map. You load your business rules in there upfront, which maintains that persistent context we just talked about. By doing this, you instantly elevate your role. You are now officially acting as the CEO, directing the high-level strategy from your dashboard, feeling totally confident that the AI perfectly understands exactly how your business operates.
Moving on to features 3 and 4, the terminal workforce.
So, we are officially leaving the comfort of the web browser now, and we're transforming your strategy into a literal digital workforce. We do this using Claude Code. This is a terminal-based agentic tool that autonomously reads your files, writes code, and executes shell commands. Now wait, stop right there. I know exactly what you're probably thinking. I don't know how to code, so can I really use a terminal? The answer is an absolute 100% yes. You do not need to be a developer. You just tell it what business outcomes you want in plain English, and the agent translates that into code and executes the whole shebang for you.
150. That number is huge. Using a dispatch terminal, you can actually utilize Claude Code to spawn up to 150 custom AI subagents. Now, why on earth do we need subagents? Well, because if you give one single AI way too much to do, it gets confused and it fails. The solution is spawning these specific subagents, each with a totally fresh context window all running simultaneously.
I mean, just imagine it. One agent is deep diving into competitor research. A second agent is drafting your entire email sequence. A third is writing the code for your landing page. All of them operating in parallel, while you just sit back and drink your morning coffee. As the quote says, you are no longer the employee, you are the orchestrator. It's a complete mindset shift from doing the grunt work to managing a highly capable, tireless team.
All right, let's look at feature 5, external access.
Because let's face it, a workforce isn't very useful if it's completely trapped inside your computer. This layer allows your AI to break out into the real world. This is done through MCP, or the Model Context Protocol. Think of MCP like a highly secure bridge.
It equips your AI agents to directly access your external databases and tools. Suddenly, your agents can read your private Notion documents. They can post updates directly to your Slack channels. They can pull live YouTube data and even update your CRM, all without you ever lifting a single finger. It's a real game changer.
Next up is Feature 6, the Automation Playbook.
This revolves around a really brilliant feature called skills, which basically serve as the standard operating procedures, or SOPs, for your AI workforce. A skill might sound super complicated, but it's actually incredibly simple. You just write plain English instructions in a text file and save it in your .claude/skills folder. That's literally it. It tells your agents exactly how to execute specific workflows. For example, you could have a skill that says, every time I drop a new product link in this folder, automatically draft a promotional Reddit post, formatted correctly, and save it. Boom. Completely automated.
Now, to make absolutely sure these automated SOPs run perfectly without errors, we use a unique double-loop AI review process. It works like this. Step 1, you use an AI session to write out the initial skill instructions. Step 2, you open a completely separate, fresh AI session to review and troubleshoot that first AI's work. It's like having a second pair of eyes. Then, Step 3, once it's fully verified, you implement the skill. This guarantees your automation is going to run without a hitch.
Finally, we reach the ultimate payoff, the hybrid workflow.
Look, amateurs look at all these incredible tools and they kind of pit them against each other. But a successful 30-day side hustle, that requires seamlessly linking them all together into one unified operating system. Here's what that complete hybrid workflow looks like. You use standard chat to ideate and validate your offers. Easy. Then you step up into Cowork to act as a CEO, setting up your dashboard and defining your overarching strategy. Finally, you hand that strategy off to Claude Code, letting your subagents build and execute the actual work blindly in the background. It is a perfect, continuous loop of massive productivity.
Now, right before we wrap up this explainer, I want to drop a high-value outlier tip that's going to save you some serious cash. Do not pay Claude API costs for raw, messy research. Instead, gather your context and pre-process your research using Google's Notebook LM, which is entirely free. Once Notebook LM generates a highly structured, hallucination-free plan for you, you simply hand that pristine document over to Claude Code to execute. You save money, and you prevent the AI from making costly, annoying mistakes.
So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you ready to stop executing endless manual tasks and start actually orchestrating your digital enterprise? The tools to build a fully automated 30-day side hustle are quite literally sitting right in front of you. It's time to step out of that employee mindset, fire up that terminal, and finally put your